So I keep, sorry about how I'm dressed, I'm a bum. I keep interacting with people, trying to do my thing, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. Being me and adding information that may or may not be useful to people. But we've been in a warlike social situation for a long time. And what that means is decisions that are made and paths people take are irreversible because the paths to change back are eliminated as we move forward. It's I mean it's an oversimplification just to make it easy to comprehend. But it's like there's a lot of people that I don't know how to my opposition assume I agree with or agree with me. The good guys that are out there like to associate groups of people or different people that they don't like together, especially if they interact in some way, especially online. But the thing is what's going on is there's people who actually understand the problems from their own perspectives and are trying to fix it. With similar skills as I have to do the exact same thing. And I try to work with people like that to encourage them to uh, keep with that work, so to speak. That's what I have a lot of training and experience in, so I'm pretty good at that. So passing on the baton, so to speak. But my opposition, they have no idea what's going on, why it's going on. In their minds, everything is some kind of dramatic fictional narrative. They don't understand real narratives. Real narratives have fewer options and closer dead ends. As in, if you exist in the real world and you go the wrong way in your choices, you'll learn pretty quickly that you went the wrong way. But in a world dominated by consumerism of fiction and people raised on fiction and problem solving with lessons they learned from fiction, you have a lot of people who actually are participating or trying to force people like me to work with them because they run the problem solving industry, whatever the hell that is. Literally, it doesn't exist. But people who don't want those particular problems solved that benefit and enrich themselves on those problems definitely don't want those problems solved. They want those problems to be considered natural so that nobody's allowed to question it or try to change it. Like selling oneself like a slave in our modern progressive society that believes that kind of thing should be the basis of the economy, which it is, but it's in secret. They want it to be open. I helped open a door to the closet, and then I burned the door and buried it. So everybody's out of the closet, and they can't get back in. I had different goals when I was breaking the door down, but the big picture, the I don't know how to describe it. The problems that are solved by our creator uh, are being solved the only way they can be. Our ability to keep up and pay attention to it is trivial when it comes to the big picture because, we're just a piece of the big picture, a small brushstroke, so to speak. You know, I mean, we play a part, we're part of the picture. That's the thing. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Basically, what it comes down to is people need to be able to be free to live their lives and build their lives as humans. And if they want options beyond that, then options can be made available, like there always is. But humans need to be allowed to understand what nature is, what their nature is, so that they can become the best human that they can. And then build off of that as a foundation. Right now, what we've done is we've defined human nature as hypersexualized. And if we don't promote that, then we think that humans aren't being nurtured properly. When it's hard to describe. It's not really that hard to describe, but it's hard to describe in a pleasant, uh, polite way. But it's a drug addiction. It's drug addicts telling everybody they need to keep doing drugs. You know, and the rest of society being run by and manned by the same exact people saying that all chemicals are drugs, blah 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 blah. And then, it ends up making the whole argument and situation a million times worse. Because now instead of people going after what they think is good, they start going after everything and things that will destroy them. And then the supposed good guys that led them all there use that as an example as to what happens when people are free. So, everybody knows this. Everybody doesn't like this. But because people are so foolish and willing to be fooled and afraid of being fooled, they were easily turned against the only hope that was ever presented to them by people who had some clue of what they were doing, and that was Trump. The retarded thing about the whole thing is Trump's a Democrat. He's a Bernie-crat. He's literally what we wanted from the Democrats. Plus pro-Constitution Republic, which is what the Republicans are supposed to be. So all the fake Republicans and the degenerate Democrats have had to join forces to quell our drive towards fulfilling human nature. One of the simplest things to do, because it's our nature. We can see all the animals having a simple time fulfilling their natures. And their natures aren't sex work. I mean, it's like, we've put importance on something that's one of the easiest things to do, that almost every living thing can do, is, that every living thing can do if it's not disabled in some way, which is breeding. And we've made that the most important thing. Why? Because it's a drug that they can't sell you, but they know how to get you addicted. And once they get you addicted, they can control you, because the cool kids are selling it to you. So, and you're not cool if you don't, or whatever, no matter how conservative it gets, apparently behind the scenes it's always degenerate, because that's how things have been. That's how things are in an empire. When some people want things to be the way they used to be, they just want to be in the dark. They really can't accept that this is how things have always been. Or they know how things are, they want things to be hidden, and they can't accept things being in the open. So, there's a lot of people who are helping, but because they want a change away from brothel casino culture, they're seen as oppressors of freedom. When in reality, they're showing people what their options actually are and where freedom actually exists. And you can't be free if you don't understand and embrace what is actual human nature. And it is not sex work. It's not related to addiction. I mean, it's like, yeah, we feel pain when we're damaged. Does that mean we're built to feel pain and that's what we should do the most? Because that's the kind of logic that's being used in the generalized society. Meanwhile, in the real world, you'll have monarchists on one side, republics on the other, whatever the hell you want to call democracies. The thing is democracies don't really exist. They're a breakaway from stability. They're a tool for outsiders to claim control and create mafias within countries. So, I mean, the U.S. has a long tradition of people outside our country hating us so much they keep trying to take it over, and they succeeded. They succeeded until Trump was elected. Then we started getting our republic back, and the power started going towards the states. You really, really, really should want states' power. The only power you have is in your state. I mean, what power do you have in the federal government? Everybody knows the elections are rigged on the federal level. What the hell is the point in focusing on that? Are we supposed to project the dysfunction of the federal government down to the local? As if the local and the state didn't work before, like we don't have our own constitutions, and that they're different. They are different. Our constitutions are different, and the state constitutions trump the federal constitution because that's how it works. You have to make an amendment to the Constitution in order to trump, or I should say, I don't know. I think you do have to make amendments to the Constitution in order to trump the states, but there aren't that many that the states didn't already agree with beforehand. Other than, let's see, the slavery one, because man was already created equal in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. So that was something that was designed to make it look like they were solving something that never should have been a problem in this country in the first place. So the problems that we have go back a long time, and we don't have to correct everything everyone has done in the past in order for us all to get a better future right now, or a better present. We don't need to make up for the things people who are dead have done. That's not how reality works. Everyone's already not oppressing other people, and they're already free to make their own choices and to create their own cultures and societies. But because of the hyper competition within the sex trade, and how the sex trade is the basis of economy, like I said earlier, and society, everything is screwed up. Everything is screwed up. We're literally being taught by sex workers. We're being taught by sex workers. We're being raised by sex workers and Johns. And we all know what their science and philosophies are. It's the mainstream science and philosophies that justify that kind of life and existence outside of nature, trying to enforce it as nature because nature doesn't show it as part of itself, as a dominant thing, unless things are screwed up. So, anyways, there's my rant for Friday. Yeah, don't really have much more to say. Love you all. Good luck.